I'm just
Kim, you are
saying.
not Kim. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you find us in this weird ball, whack and roll, and welcome to another exciting edition of Darkness Double, brought to you by booping the button and never by the button booping us. Just let that sink in. It's alright, Kim's just throwing a temper tantrum in the background, like one of those children you see wandering around alone in supermarkets, unloved and uncared for. Like Kim.
You're not wrong.
I'm really not. This evening's scene is going to take place, or be beginning, in the eaves of the Church of the Immaculate Conception, located just outside Ranelagh in central Dublin. It is a calm place, surrounded by willow trees and yew trees. For those of you who don't know, yew trees are traditionally associated with graveyards and the dead, growing there seemingly better than everywhere else. The church's spire reaches high up, about 50 feet or so, into the skyline. There's an elegance and a sense of calm to this place. It is just coming up to about 10 or so in the morning, at which point you have been asked to assemble in the graveyard adjoining the church proper. And we will go as you are greeted. So, first of all, we have Zach.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Zach will probably just walk in. Is this after the scene from last night? I'm assuming it's after the scene from last night.
Yes, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning now.
Then he's walking in with coffee. With the coffee that he got.
Delicious, life-saving coffee.
He'll just walk in. He's got his cane. It's not his cane, he's got the cane. And his little dagger and, all his bullshit. And he'll just kind of walk in and sit down.
Alright, you will immediately notice, and all of you will immediately notice this, that a huge area of ground has been cleared and flattened, and daubed in what you assume is blood on the ground. There are many litigic symbols that denote prayer scripts running in concentric circles, dozens of circles. You must assume that pints upon pints of blood were needed in order to inscribe these on the ground. Resting on 3 points, or rather resting on three degrees of the circle, you will see a large ruby, a small jade chopstick, what looks to be a jade chopstick, and a book. Also, on the opposite side, you will see a large gem, probably a sapphire, set into a ring. You will see a mask that appears to be Hinduic in origin, possibly depicting one of the many lords of Yotamo, which is, for those of you who are not familiar, one of the various hell dimensions in Hinduism. And you will also see what looks almost to be a Native American style tomahawk. These are all laid around the circle, roughly 15 feet apart from one another. You will see Siren kneeling on the ground as he delicately daubs the last of the symbols into existence, painstakingly scribing them for all to see. As we continue, the next introduction will be the Azure Sailor. I'm going in a line, so do forgive me if these are random. But Grog, you are next. Next.
So, as he comes into the graveyard, he looks both ways and makes sure he sees no one digging a grave, as that would be very auspicious and bad, before he walks in and merely finds an out-of-the-way spot to kind of stand against a wall so that he can listen and have his back to something. And he is softly humming sailor burial hymns.
Okay. Next on my list for intro will be Kennings.
Yes. Richard will be entering the graveyard as well, and I'm also going to assume that this is the night after that this is the morning after the last night's scene. So he will probably be kind of he'll be kind of beat as well. But having a cup of Starbucks or whatever local equivalent is there, looking around to see what faces he recognizes, and then nodding politely in greeting to like a formal nod of greeting to those present.
Okay. Next we have Jewel. Jewel.
Jewel enters. She is she's calm. She doesn't say much. And there is a solid look of determination on her face.
Okay. And last but certainly not least, we have Rurus.
Right, Rurus will actually seem chipper and bright-eyed as he comes riding up on his skateboard. Just to remind people what he... Oh, crap. They gotta pick that back up. Throwing up. So real quickly, a reminder what he looks like. 18-year-old boy. He will kick off his skateboard as he approaches the graveyard, uttering a prayer to Mazda for protection against the corruption of Angramainu. And he will cast looks aside, noticing Zach, noticing Jewel, noticing Richard, noticing Maximilian, and he's going to walk over to where Jewel is. He will set his skateboard down, pull out a coin, and start flipping it around like somebody who's keeping up on his manual dexterity. It's like flip, sort of thing.
I almost forgot. The Azure Sailor is not wearing his usual getup. He has a straw hat, a monk's staff, and is wearing a kimono now.
Ah, yes, that happened. And last but not least, as Tim has entered, Tim, we are introing people at a church located in Dublin city centre. The only thing of interest is you will see Siren is drawing a huge pictogram on the ground that is liturgic and Latin symbology that must have 12 or 13 different concentric circles inside one another in what appears to be blood on the ground. And there are a number of items inside the circle.
Okay. Yeah, Sam comes on in. She's wearing the hoodie, the hoodie that Eliza provided to her. She got a new knife because wait, no, she didn't lose the old one. I forgot. So she comes on in. She's gonna roll on up to. Okay, firstly, she's actually not going to wink at Zach because this is not the time to flirt shamelessly.
Who are you kidding? It's always the right time.
No, not for this kid.
Priesty boy is very happy. He's not being flirted by or with at Sam.
Oh, don't worry, Daddy will get taken care of after the scene.
Oh my God, no!
I feel dirty. Continue.
She'll come on up to Jewel, and since he's also there, Rurus, she will greet the rest of y'all as she passes by. She'll say, "All right, we doing this shit."
Walking out of the church, the bishop makes his way. He's surrounded by lesser priests, all of whom are conversing very, very quickly. As he will walk towards you, he will dismiss them with a wave of his hand before he says, "Today is, I believe, a day of prophecy and portent." He will raise his finger and he will point upwards, at which point you notice the barest sliver of the sun has been eclipsed already by the moon. So rather than a perfect disk of light, there is now a tiny etching of darkness that is starting to push across it. And he will say, "That is not natural. If you look at it with the visions given to you, you will be able to see that someone is altering the natural flow of Earth's gravity, so that the moon is being dragged into position. This is incredibly potent sorcery. Your mission is simple. I will conduct the ritual here with the aid of Siren in order to banish the fetters of this creature. However, one fetter will remain in Catherine Templehoff. It is up to you in order to make sure that this last fetter is removed, and that it must be done before the eclipse reaches its zenith point at 12 o'clock noon. Do you understand?
Yes, we do, Archbishop.
Burroughs will simply nod.
Sam will check the time right now. What time is it?
It is currently 10:02.
All right, so we got about 2 hours.
Yep. He will say, others are already inside and preparing in order to defend the ritual site, as I have no doubt the master will respond when his fetters are pulled right before they are cut. So I do not know what you will face or what sorceries Templehoff has bound to her defense. However, know this. Where I must send you, there is no light. Where I must send you, you are the only light. Do you understand?
Burroughs will nod his head.
So will
In
Richard.
this universe of light, there is much darkness. But in a universe of darkness, you must be the light that Ahura Mazda, or whatever god you believe in, chooses to fill you with.
Richard will look at the Archbishop and say, Your Grace, if I may.
By all means.
Several of us have worked hard the past couple of days, and I have to admit, at least for my own part, that I am feeling a bit fatigued. Any assistance you could render us in that area would be much appreciated, I imagine, at least by myself.
The Azure Sailor does a bow and says, "I too, Your Grace, am tapped for resources at the moment."
He will very calmly take a single bead, and I emphasize, this is tiny. A single bead from the rosary that he wears around his neck, that's actually pictured there, a very plain wooden rosary. And he will throw it, he will basically very calmly throw it into Richard's hands. Richard, does your character possess Prime?
He sadly does not yet.
In that case, he will then motion with his hand, at which point you will fill your quintessence pool being refilled to its entirety, and he will say, "You may keep that. You may need it." For the record, this little vial, or this tiny little gem, roughly about, not even a gem, little piece of wood, roughly about the size of your finger, has 25 quintessence in it.
Ooh, sweetness. So I just got 25 No.
Well, no.
Okay.
He said that the group has 25 quintessence.
Oh, okay.
He's not giving it just to you, and he will then walk to each of one of you in turn. Actually, he'll walk to Belmont first, and he'll put his thumb on your forehead, and he'll trace the cross, which is a very common Catholic blessing, and he'll say, "In nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti, Soltre venantus et nos centibamus." At which point, Zach, you will regain all of your willpower. Line 6. It's a hell of a thing. Okay, does anyone... Actually, no. Ironically, no one here has a paradigm he couldn't affect with it. Haha! Because if anyone here had a technological paradigm... I was going to say, if anyone here had a technological paradigm, he'd be like, nope. Beg your pardon? Okay, so you will all regain. He will go to each one of you in turn. It'll take him about 5 minutes or so, but you will all regain up to your maximum willpower.
Yay.
I got my 2 willpower back from last scene. Yay.
Yay. Does he fill any of our quintessence pools?
He gave you the ability to fill your own quintessence pools.
Yep, that rotary beat there.
Okay.
Rich is going to pass it along the line until it returns to him, so people can take the quintessence that they.
It's the Archbishop, for the record. I'm just going to say holding it will refill up to your avatar rating in quintessence. So, just so we can actually check how much is left. Sam, how much quintessence did Sam have, or was Sam on full quint? Tim?
Oh, sorry.
Was Sam on full quint, or did Sam require quintessence?
She did get back to full quint. She doesn't spend a lot of quint.
That's fine. Zach, you needed how much quint to fill you up?
Just 2.
All right, so Zach, your 2 quint will be refreshed, which will drop the bead down by 2. How much did Richard use himself?
4. So I'm back to the quint that I started the game with.
That's fine. So that would be 4 plus 2 is 6. Did Jewel use any quintessence, or does she have any that she needed, or is she good?
I think she's at a BRB right now, so we'll just say that she needed any.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. Grog, quintessence, how much did you need?
I need at least 3, but I have Prime, so I can.
Yeah. Okay. So you will drain up to 3 quint into your avatar, which means we are now at a total of 9 spent. And Brett, are you good for quint, or do you need quint?
Roris hasn't spent any quint since the last time he refilled at his home, so that node 3 is a bitch, ain't it?
Okay, so that is everyone. All right. In that case, he will shrug and he will pass the. He will just say that whoever wishes to keep the bead for the mission can do. He doesn't really care.
Richard
we got a lot of healers.
Actually, Roris will
so.
extend his hand for it.
And so will Richard.
Roris will look at Richard and say, "Do you have the ability to transfer quintessence to other people?"
He looks at him and shakes his head, and then withdraws his hand. I did not know that you did.
Hi, it's a fairly common Prime ability. I'm surprised you not have it. Or was your hermetic training a little lacking?
I have
Shade.
He looks at Roris and says, I have decided to focus on other spheres for the moment, as you will find out eventually."
For the record, as Siren is walking by, he secretly fist bumps Roris, just like, yep.
Roris will fist him back. Donnie has issues with hermetics, that's how it rolls.
Because he finally gets to do it, Siren will say, "Where I have to take you now, I will lead you." He will offer out his hands, and he will say, "All of you join hands and form a circle."
Ross will extend his hand, dance to whoever's near him. Probably Jade and Samara.
I will take Samira's hand, I guess.
It's not a big deal whose hand you hold. But as he does this, you will see beads that burst out of his back as his hair lengthens. He will look up into the sky and he will say, "Mother, the time is now. Open the gateway." At which point, above you, you will see... do all of you know what the Star... Okay, you know what the Star of David looks like, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Have you ever seen the Star of Solomon?
Yes,
Slightly
actually I have.
Okay, cool. For those of you who don't know, the Star of Solomon is a Star of David, but at every point in the Star of David, there is basically it forms there is a shape that connects to every one of the points that surrounds it. So it's essentially not a pentagram, but more of a half suit. It basically forms an almost square barrier around the Star of David. It's called the Star of Solomon. It's a symbol of binding and openings.
It's actually something that Richard should recognize because that's part of his paradigm.
Yep, but Richard's player did not know of it, so I just Googled it.
But, yep, so one of those will appear above you, at which point you will feel yourselves being uplifted physically and spiritually, almost thrown through the barrier. as Siren tells you to brace yourselves and hold on tight, his eyes closed. You feel a sense of angelic warmth coming from all around you, a sense of benevolency, but a sense of incredible power, a sense of basically, for those of you who have Prime and the ability to feel it, pure Prime energy, almost as if you yourself in this moment in time were existing inside a node. Pretty cool.
I'm assuming those with Prime side up are kind of like low-key blind now.
No. It's benevolent light. There's no pain to it.
Thank God.
There's nothing but warmth.
Before you are thrown, the circle doesn't break and you don't hurt yourselves, but you are physically tossed, you're physically tossed onto barren, cracked, parched ground. You know that when you get soil so not sand but soil so dry that it cracks under your hand, that it forms crack lines. That. Yep. And staring in front of you is almost a mockery of the church you were in that looks exactly as pictured.
Does this place feel familiar?
You are not in the Shadowlands.
Okay. Does it feel like a separate part of the Umbra? Or is
if
this
anyone
like
has high Umbra knowledge, they may roll it.
I, in fact, do. Oh, God.
I only have spirit lore.
I tell you what, I need to go and get a drink, so if people can bring Lindsay up to speed, and I will be back in a few moments.
That's it.
Right. So, Lindsay, basically, you got, if you lost any willpower or quintessence over the past day and a half or so, you would have been given it back by the Archbishop. We're being flung off to take on the great Catherine Templehoff.
Spending willpower.
She's the only fetter that they cannot visibly break at this point. Everybody else is going to be working on ritual, so we're here to face off against Queen Bitch McGillicuddy.
Oh, fan-fucking-tastic. Okay.
Yep. So if you have, I don't know, Life 4 or Life 3, you're probably going to be using it.
I do not. The only sphere I have at 3 is Spirit.
Oh. Oh, that could come in easy.
But I do have Spirit side active, so there's that.
I'm sensing that a lot of us have life and spirit.
I only have Spirit and Forces and Prime. But what you basically walked in on was Siren, who is the keeper of Parchment, the Horizon Realm. Basically just sent us through an angelic gate into another world of the High Umbra. And we're standing outside of a decrepit-looking, parched landscape.
I do not have High Umbra lore, unfortunately. I have Dark Umbra lore, but no High Umbra.
I don't even have Umbra lore, I just have Spirit lore. But he's a retainer down there, so I don't think I can use him as a combat monkey. Prince, out of my way. Yes, I see your little tail wagging. Out of my way. Over. Dogs.
I'm not sure I want to have this many successes on what this place is. I really don't.
It's only 2.
With one of my things, I have -2 when dealing with High Umbra.
Right. That's 4. Keep in mind, High Umbra is not like Dark Umbra or Deep Umbra, where your mind can be twisted just by having certain levels of the lore or scoring at certain levels of it. High Umbra is more like Celestials. Which can still be
Correct.
bad if you try to comprehend what they are and fail.
And I'm back. We all up to speed?
Yeah, I think I got it up to speed.
Okay, cool. So, as I
got
said,
better
you are faced with the church in front of you. However, there's something odd, even more odd than where you are. And did somebody roll High Umbra lore?
Yes, that'd be me.
Did you succeed?
Yes.
I got 4 successes.
And Zach?
this one.
Okay. There's something about this place that's weird for Zach, in the sense that it is the Umbra, but it bleeds into places that aren't. For our dear Azure Sailor, this place connects. It is connected to the Umbra, it is connected to the Shadowlands, and it is connected to the High Umbra, and it's bleeding into all three.
My friends, it appears that this one place is connecting to 3 places and bleeding from it into them.
Okay. One other thing that one other important point you guys find out. You see the steps of the church, as I have pictured there. Strewn on the church steps, you see bodies, fresh bodies, of what looks like men in special ops assault gear.
Oh, damn.
Do I recognize any sigils of the Deceiver?
Do you recognize what, sorry?
Do they have any of the sigils of the Deceivers, aka the Technocratic Union?
No.
With my correspondence and life side up, of course, the men are dead. I'm not asking about those, but what do I see with correspondence and life side?
They are all dead.
Yeah, but
and there are no real connections that link them anymore, because obviously they have departed.
Mhm.
With other correspondence side up, you do see the fact that this area is heavily warded, but that something has punched through the ward at the front door. Some incredibly powerful magical force shattered it. And I will point out, for those of you, these guys are wearing very similar armored protection to those individuals you saw when you were infiltrating the Abbey on the distant island off the west coast of Ireland called Skellig Moor. For those of you who remember that particular thing. Continue.
So Richard will point towards the entrance of the church and says, "This place is very heavily warded, but somehow they managed to punch a hole through the entrance there."
Evan, is there anything I can get with their symbology to maybe understand what they are?
They're not wearing any symbology. They're actually purposely not. They're not even wearing dog tags.
Alrighty then.
So, who has Prime Sight activated? I know one of you does. Kim, is it you who has Prime Sight?
Zach does.
Yeah.
Okay, for those of you who have Prime Sight up, their guns, which are... Okay, Evan is not good with firearms, and he openly admits this. What would be the latest high caliber, what do special ops people carry? He doesn't know.
H&K
Are we talking...
or...
It depends on what country they're from.
Yeah.
It also depends on their purpose. Are we talking suppressive fire? Are we talking as much damage as possible?
I would say, as a military man, that you would see M60 machine guns, you would see the FAMAS, and possibly a 1911, and you'd see bolt actions with the new sights that have just come out that can switch from thermal to night to infrared.
Okay, that is fair. As I said, Evan does not know guns out of character. But the one thing that Zach will get is every one of their bullets, not their guns, is infused with prime energy.
Oh boy, that means they do ag and other things.
Oh, also, it's not just the simple infusion with prime. They're also designed to put down spirits.
Oh boy.
So that is what you see sprawled on the steps of the church. There's about 7 or 8 of them, all of whom have incredibly deep, as you look at them, if anyone wants to make me a medical medicine check.
Can LifeSight tell me anything about them?
Not really. They are dead. I'm asking for a medicine check for a different reason.
Yeah, I'll roll medicine.
Cool.
Oh, I've got medicine. I'll roll that shit too.
Roll that sweet, sweet medicine check. Roll that sweet, sweet medicine check.
Is it intelligence
Is it
medicine?
just
It is intelligence
Standard-
medicine. It is standard difficulty.
hey?
I've got 3.
Okay.
I got 2.
2.
1 second.
Take your
I've
time.
got 3.
I've got 3.
Okay. I'm going to give you all the same thing because 2 and 3 is not that big a deal in this particular scenario. They were all killed in a very odd way in the sense that they all have a single wound that was either denoted to the heart or directly through the throat by a single thrusting blade, and only one wound killed every one of them. It was essentially one stroke, one kill.
And it doesn't look. Does it look like they bled out from that wound?
No, it looks as if, well, in the case of being pierced through the heart, yes, they bled out. And being pierced through the neck, yes, they bled out. But also it severed their spinal cord. As in it went straight through and out the back.
Okay, I'm mostly asking because if they didn't die of blood loss, that would mean that the piercing weapon had the ability to inflict instant death.
Oh yeah, no, they bled out. It was quite sad.
Just so you know, Evan, would they, if they were struck between the third and fourth intercostal vertebrae, they would have died without bleeding out.
That's fair. But yes, this is what you see. Other than that, it looks as if the door to the church did once exist, but it's been blown in the sense that you can see shrapnel and still flaming hunks of wood. So this did not... Oh, and also, for those of you who will the medicine check, this happened not very long ago, in the last hour or so, because rigor has yet to set in properly.
All right.
Evan, are any of these weapons warded that
No.
we can see?
Well, you don't have correspondence set up.
But I do.
Yeah. They do not
Same.
they do not possess a ward.
In that case, Richard will cautiously move over towards the bodies, and he will pick up one of the pistols. I think you mentioned a 1911, right?
Ross is going to hold up his hand and say, "Have you no respect for the dead?"
Richard looks at him and says, "I have respect for the living as well, and we need every advantage we can get." And he takes one of the 1911 pistols.
Ross is just going to say something in Arabic.
Sam
What?
will actually say very, very quick prayers for each one.
Yeah.
Okay, that is fine. It's
Ross,
okay.
follow up with
It's
your
weird.
second.
Okay, hang on. For when you start to pray, it's weird praying here. It's like whenever you speak, it almost feels like treacle is coming out of your mouth. If
It's
you know
like
that really
what?
kind of treacle. Do you know what treacle is?
It's like
It's
a
really-
caramel thing, right?
It's a very thick molasses-like substance. It's,
Yeah,
I was trying to go. Yeah.
It's like blackstrap molasses 10. It's
Okay.
different, but same consistency.
It feels almost hard to pray, almost hard to form the words here. You can still do it, but you have to actually force it out, if that makes sense. Okay. So what do you guys do? You're standing outside this church.
Evan, I'm going to pick up one of the M60 squad automatic weapons in a couple of boxes.
Okay. Everyone loves robbing a corpse.
Hey, Heather, I'm not too sure on this. What's the Jadana say about loot, about grabbing a weapon off the dead body so you can use it to save more people?
Well, let me think here a second, because
Well,
it does not specifically say anything about that. I'm trying to think what heading it might fall under.
Yeah.
hey, Evan, because Zoroastrianism does allow the taking of weapons off of a honored corpse to provide vengeance for the loss of their life. Roros is going to... What? What I miss?
I was just saying, yes, you can do. People can rob the bodies if they want.
Well, Roros is actually going to pray for the... And he's going to muddle through it as much as he can. Then he's going to take one of the M60s off, check the clip, and he's actually going to properly test and check the weapon, because he does have firearms after all.
When he does that, Richard will smirk at him and say, "What happened to respect for the dead, eh?"
Oh,
This
And then
I'm
is
he'll
sorry.
walk
respect
away.
for the dead.
And then he'll
I'm-
walk
I'm
away
sorry.
towards one of the others.
As he does that, Roros is going to call out, "I'm sorry, did you not hear me praying for the soul of this person as I take his weapon to exact vengeance upon the one that killed him?"
He just smiles.
My
He's actually
religion.
going to hold the weapon up to his forehead like this, and is going to whisper a prayer in Arabic to infuse it with Hashem, so that he may bring about the vengeance of Ahura Mazda.
If it helps you, Roros, my religion also states that you may take the weapons of the dead in order to save the living and avenge the dead.
It is not saving the living I'm after right now. It is vengeance for the fallen.
It's a little bit
Do you take any of the boxes? Because remember, M60 uses box mags.
I'll take an additional magazine.
well, I mean that depends. Evan, are they actually like M60 like rifles, or do we just want to say that they're assault rifles with stats from the book?
Yes, this is
I-
fair because Evan does not actively. Honestly, I am not big on. Weapons and weapon stats. So yes.
The only
Okay.
difference would be these have the ability to go full auto. I'm not sure the assault in the book does.
Yes, it does.
Also,
sweet.
Richard will of course take some pistol mags as well, so he doesn't run out of bullets if he needs to.
That's entirely fair. Okay, so
Evan, you said
Yes.
they were in riot gear.
yes, they are in riot gear. Though the-
Are there any shields?
Ooh, yeah.
No, there are no shields. They had basically they had a weapon that they had to hold in both hands as they fired.
Okay.
I saw where he was going, and I was like, "That's beautiful."
Thank you.
But yes, as I was saying. So, do we venture inside, boys and girls?
Yep.
Once more onto the breach, dear friends. Once more.
Roros is going to take up slack position. Somebody wants to take point. Like, I don't know, somebody older who has less to look for.
Fuck it, Zach will go first.
I said
If
older.
Zach is going to go first, if Zach thinks he's going to go first, Jewel will go in ahead of him.
And at that point, Roros will go in ahead of Jewel.
That's fair.
All right, so boys and girls, you enter into a large circular room flanked by colonnades on all sides. Once again, there were another 2 bodies in here. However, what you notice now is there were 2 statues that lay broken with dozens of bullet holes in them that each have a single stabbing sword in each hand. They appear to be made in mockery of the martyrdom of the saints. So one of them appears to be Saint Tobias the Blessed, and the other appears to be Saint Catherine the Merciful, as their bodies lie crooked and broken, shattered stone and marble, riddled with these prime-infused bullet holes. And as you enter, off in the distance, you will hear the vague rat-tat-tat-tat-tat noise of heavy weapons fire somewhere lost in the distance of this massive zigguratral church. There are 2 doors that lead out of this room, one to the left and one to the right. However, both have been closed, and neither have a clear sign as to which one was advanced through properly.
Does it have a boot print on it, Evan?
It does not.
Okay. No char marks or anything, I'm guessing, as well.
Nope. So, you may go left or you may go right.
We are above ground, and I believe taking always to the left will bring us to the heart of the maze.
That does not sound like a logical conclusion to come to.
If your left hand always touches the side, then you will eventually find the center of a maze.
You see Roris looking like he's trying to process that logic.
Is Pax here?
Did you bring Pax?
Yes.
Dear God, why would you do that to your familiar?
What the? If he didn't want to go, that's fine. I'm just curious.
I left my gin behind. I mean, come on.
Yes, let's bring the bird into certain death.
I don't have a familiar, so don't matter.
Fuck.
I have a spirit mentor that would have told me fuck no.
Yes, Kim. Pax is here. He's kind of hiding.
Oh, never
behind your head.
mind.
No, he's here now. He's here.
Nah, never mind. Damn. I was asking a question. Fuck.
Okay. So, do you choose to go left or right, boys and girls?
Is there any way to tell from the rat-a-tat-tat of the gunfire action?
It just appears to be incredibly distant as you hear it.
Oh, all right. Roris is going to sling his gun over and he's going to start singing. He's going to start singing "In Your Eyes" by Peter Gabriel. And I'm going to cast Determine the Energetic Presence.
You got to cast what, sorry?
Determine the Energetic Presence is my force is 1. I'm detecting the flow and movement of non-local energies, like basically kinetic force, heat, things like that.
Okay.
I think it should bring that down to 3. 3 successes.
Okay.
So into effect to the duration.
Okay. Basically, there is an immense amount of force being. There's an immense amount of kinetic force, which you would assume comes from gunfire. As you know, gunfire creates immense kinetic force, which is currently dragging off to the right-hand side.
Roris is going to point toward the right and start heading that way, taking his rifle off the shoulder again.
Okay, cool. As you guys round the corner, you will go through the door which leads to the right, which comes to a right-hand angle. So it comes from a 90-degree angle. So you walk to the end of the angle, and then there is a large hallway that extends before you. As you proceed to run down the corridor that it faces, you will hear the gunfire become more and more prevalent. However, one thing, if people would like to make me a perception alertness roll, please.
Definitely.
Oh boy.
If people what?
Perk alert.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you say alert or aware?
Alert.
Okay. Standard diff, I assume?
Correct.
Nope.
3 successes.
Wow. No ones, no successes.
Hey, 4 successes, get it.
Three successes because I'm a perceptive motherfucker.
I was going to say, thankfully, Sam got 4 because it had 3 successes on its stealth roll.
Oh, okay.
Good job, Sam.
Alrighty.
All right, so has everyone rolled?
Well, does correspondence site do anything? As well as
Correspondence site will knock down the difficulty by 1.
What about force of sight?
Okay.
What are we rolling?
Perception alertness, Lindsay.
Okay. I have Is it site based?
It is site-based.
Okay, cool.
I fail. I don't botch, but I fail.
I have 5
Oh, yeah.
successes.
Wow,
Oh,
shit.
you also see it. Okay. So, one of the statues that kind of is lying broken on the floor, half of its face has been smashed out. You think it's Saint Anthony. However, it's not as dead as it appears as it raises, as you run past, as it draws its sword and is about to plunge it into Richard's back.
Alrighty.
If you guys would like to now roll initiative, congratulations, you get to roll initiative.
And I get to die if I'm not careful. 7.
7, 10. So roll the
Well,
Fuck
FFS.
that. This thing is going on a 17.
Oh,
14.
shit. You're getting stabbed. Probably getting stabbed, Richard. I'm sorry. Survive the hit.
So Evan,
Survive.
you said the big bad is going on 17?
Yeah, it's going on 17. So if we can just enter our initiative order in the chat, please. I have a 17. Oh, dude, the one time you get a 16.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Oh no. Well, it was
Tim,
nice.
what's your dexterity?
It was nice knowing you guys.
What was that, Brett?
Staples,
Daniel?
what's your dexterity?
Who's dexterity?
Zach's.
3.
Okay, there we go.
Your dexterity's 3. I go before you then. I
Okay.
have 4.
We're just trying to work out the initiative order. Okay. Hi, who has prime... Zach, you have prime sight, don't you?
Yes.
This thing, the statue, as you whip around to look at it, has been entropied out the yin-yang to hit and kill with one strike.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay.
If we shout something to Richard, can he get the dodge action at least?
Oh, he can get the dodge action. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
It'll be a difficulty +3. For the record, I just like to point out, I randomly rolled which one of you was going to be the one that it would attack when it ran past you. It was just weird. It'll be difficulty plus... It'll be difficulty +3 -1. So it'll be difficulty +3 -1 because he has correspondence set up, and I believe that helps you dodge.
Yeah.
It does, actually.
So that's difficulty 8 then, right?
Yep, but I have to roll to... Oh, dear, that's 6 successes.
Oh,
Well-
okay. It's gonna be like that tonight.
Give it a try. Give it a try.
And I fail.
Oh damn. Oh damn.
Shit.
Hi, Richard.
Yep.
My name is Evan. Okay.
I'm glad I had a backup character.
Do you have anything that would allow you to soak lethal damage?
Sadly, let's see. I have life. I think I have life 3 now. So, but that's after the fact that I can heal myself. I have matter that doesn't really help me. Mind, no, it means I'm smart. Doesn't help me soak. Nope. I don't think so. Sadly.
All right. In that case, it does 9 levels of lethal damage as its sword punches through your back and out the front in one move. It's kind of funny. You turn, you see, and then your eyes go dark.
Or do they? Usagi-san, sensei.
Ooh.
You are currently in the one place he cannot go.
Of course we are.
So, basically, what you're
Does
saying
that also
is,
mean the Monkey King can't come?
It does, in fact.
so basically, what we're saying is that he dead. He's so dead. Like
Yes,
OMG.
I am sorry, I am sorry, Mark, but Richard has met his end. However,
That is the game.
that does mean you get your death stroke. It is one spectacular magical effect you do at the moment of your death
You're a hermetic, man. Make it count.
that defies Arete. So, within reason, and as long as I don't feel it completely fucks the story, you may do something.
Blow it to pieces.
See, I actually blue book that I took the premium alloy knife with me. Can I use that to make a last attempt at attack it to weaken it for my brothers or whatever?
You know what you could do? Actually, the more I think about it, was Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Usagi can't reach you here. That does not mean if your body is no longer here, Usagi cannot reach you.
Ooh, yes, teleport. But didn't I only get that on after the scene though?
What do you mean?
The teleport from Correspondence 3.
No,
Wasn't that-
Deathstroke defies Irritate. You can do whatever. You can basically do a thing. It's like do a spectacular effect. So if you want your spectacular effect to literally be teleport me back to the graveyard where my coin can then activate, then another scene can be done where you can speak to the Rabbit Death God if you want.
It does sound a little bit OP, but yes, I've invested so much in Richard by now that yes, I think I want to do that.
There is nothing to say he will not exact a harsh price. All right, in that case, you will see Richard physically disappear as the sword slices through him into a black miasma of light and energy. It is now, we are now going on 14, I believe, is the next highest initiative. So, Jewel is up.
Yes, okay. So, Richard's just vanished.
If it helps, for any of you with the life setup, he died before he vanished.
Okay.
Ugh.
So then, you know what? I think Jewel is going to stay in front of Zach, and drop into a defensive stance.
Okay, so you're basically doing defend another. That is fine. Next up is Goon Sam.
All right, cool. Goon Sam, she's got the assault rifle out, and you know what she's gonna do? She so far is behind the rest of the party. She's gonna move up a bit so that way no one else is in the line of fire, but not right up to the statue, dude. And what she's gonna do is, so it's like a marble statue, right?
Correct.
Cool. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna shoot at it, but as I'm doing it, I'm gonna do an entropy matter effect. Entropy 1 for sense weakness and matter 1 for just very quick matter sight, to basically see where its weak point is.
Okay, by all means, if you want to roll that sweet Arete.
Let's do it. Oh, question: are we in a sanctum?
No.
Okay. My bad. Just had to make sure because it is relevant.
Oh yeah, no. Otherwise, it would count as vulgar with witnesses, and that would suck donkey balls.
Yeah, that'd suck a lot of dick. Hey, there's 2 successes.
All right. So, what were you trying to do?
Basically, she's trying to get the weak point on this statue, so that way she can deal a bit more damage, or just make the attack easier.
Well, which do you want to do? Because they're separate effects.
Oh, I'm sorry then. We'll do lower the difficulty to hit.
Okay, that will drop the difficulty by 2. So if you'd like to please make your firearms roll to at.
Cool. Watch me still botch this shit, y'all.
Please don't botch with prime infused bullets. It will end sadly for everyone.
Please spend a willpower so that you don't botch.
2 successes.
All right, so 1 will carry over. What is the damage of your average assault rifle, kids?
7 dice.
All right, so that will be 8 dice worth of aggravated damage, Tim.
Bitchin'.
Roll.
No, wait. I don't remove the 6. I don't remove successes. That's 2 damage.
All right. Basically, the bullets will fly into its chest. It will look down at the smoking holes, but it's still standing. Next in our cavalcade of death, we have... Oh, sorry. Christina went on 13. My apologies. I technically skipped you.
Oh. My bad.
Well, okay then. Let's see. So I have this flaw that dictates that I really can't use magic in combat. So it's just gonna stab at her.
Stab the things!
And I'm just gonna stab the things. Magic to 4, thankfully.
Stabbing the things!
Stabbing the things. I fucking missed. Jesus Christ.
Alright, it will very kind of... Somehow you managed to miss a statue. I just want that to sink in for a second. Moving on.
Yeah. No. I know. I somehow managed to miss
A
the
prone
fucking
statue. A
When's
prone
it-
statue.
Oh, it was prone?
Well,
Next
do
is-
you know what it reminds me of?
If it was prone, then I got 1 success.
Oh! Stab the things!
Okay.
Stab it.
So I'll roll damage then.
I was going to
Roll
say,
4
it's the van all over again.
Oh, I know, right? Fuck that. Do ones take away from
No, they don't.
damage? Okay, cool. 3. 3 damage.
Well, because the thing was damaged already, basically you turn around and you hack at it with a knife. The knife blade goes into an already existing crack in its neck, at which point the head comes off and it falls cacophonatically to the floor.
Yes! That's amazing!
If one could botch a soak roll, Evan just botched a soak roll, kids.
Yes! I love that. That worked out so much better.
The floor is, however, slathered in Richard's blood. Oh dear, that can't be good.
Oh. No, it can't.
But, yes, so you were standing in a long corridor. You will notice that there are many alcoves, many places of veneration where these statues would be found. However, most of them have been pulped and turned to dust by now. However, it might be wise to keep an eye out in case some of them are not as dead as you may think they are. However, at the end of the corridor, as you guys advance, you hear a phrase that is very near and dear to Grog's heart. Gaius Vault!
Oh,
Yes.
That's
Yes.
as even. Oh, sorry.
No, you continue, Sam. Or continue, Tim.
I was just gonna say, Evan, I have theology 3. Do I need to roll to know what the fuck that is? Or who's up?
No, you don't. On a side note, hi guys, we recall a dark, moonless night, or dark, very creepy mooned night on a specific island that may or may not have included some of these gentlemen before.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Deus Vault.
You also hear in Italian, can anyone here speak? I think, can Belmont speak Italian?
Yes, he does.
You hear the phrase, grenade in the hole!
Oh boy.
What do you do?
I guess I should probably throw up a forces thing or something to just kind of like knock it back. I don't know. Or
Oh, you
block the
don't.
blast.
I'm
I
just,
could also like snatch it with matter and correspondence and just throw it somewhere else. But
oh my god, yes you could.
I don't know where I'd throw the fucking grenade after that though.
You
Return to
don't know-
Cinder.
You don't even know where the grenade is.
That I have correspondence side up.
Well,
So no.
I do have forces side up. Is something being charged with kinetic energy?
Not
Guys,
coming
guys.
towards you, being thrown further down the corridor.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
what-
At that point, Rose will just be like, it's going that way.
See, because when you said, what do you do? I was expecting, what do you do? Because it's coming at you. Like, you gotta... I'm very tired.
You will hear a large explosion. The ground will shake ever so slightly, as then you hear the thumping of feet, until you hear Until you hear, Lord Commander, see? We are being flanked. I see. Kim, once again, you can understand Italian, the others can't.
Yes.
Set up a defensive perimeter. Yes, sir.
Sam's just gonna be like, what the fuck are they saying?
They are setting up a perimeter.
Around what?
That is a good question.
He said we are being flanked.
Oh.
Set up a perimeter.
Around. Bro, I just cannot fucking think. I should have taken a nap when I got home. They are being flanked.
We are
Presumably by
behind
you
them.
guys.
We're behind them, yes?
Hold on. Yep. Yeah, we just passed some of their men. We're flanking them.
They think we're here to kill them.
They're going to attack us.
Zach's just gonna say out in Italian. We are not flanking you, my friends. We are here to join you, perhaps.
Listen not to the words of the heretic. They are an illusion. Kill them all.
Was that said in Italian or in English? Was that said in Italian or English?
Italian.
I don't think we need to know Italian to know that was angry as fuck. And Sam's gonna be like, what did you say?
Zach will just lift up a finger and he'll just kind of mutter in Italian because he's like, I am not about to waste my time switching to fucking English. And he's just gonna say, he's gonna mutter something in Italian to Sam. And then he's gonna look back at them and say, no, we are not an illusion. I am a chorister here with a few of my associates.
Oh, I see how it is.
What the fuck?
You'll see two men with guns raised walk out in front of a third man. The third man, it has a long trench coat over his combat armor and a golden cross that swings about his neck. And he looks.
Does he have bayonets?
I beg your pardon?
Does he have bayonets?
The two in front of him do indeed have fixed bayonets.
Okay.
Evan, you just made me an extremely happy man.
I know.
Yeah.
Bayonets.
The dude with the trench coat does not hold bayonets like swords.
They do not know.
Okay.
Tim, that picture comes later.
Okay.
He will say, he'll look at the priest up and down and he'll say, in Italian, once again, unless I specifically say this character is speaking in English, he's speaking in Italian, he will say, are you here as a member of the Inquisitor's party then?
Zach will, he will shake his head and then say, I am not, no.
I see. Kill them all.
Russ gonna look at you.
Very calm.
Deus Vult? Question mark?
Guys, just give me a fucking moment! Yeah! Zach will then just kind of say, he'll raise his hands in that kind of like, whoa, surrender kind of thing, and he'll say, we did not come on the Inquisitor's orders, no, but that does not mean we aren't doing his work.
I see. I understand this premise. He now switches to English and he'll say, so, have you all accepted the light of our Lord Jesus Christ, the only true Son of God, Almighty and anointed, ascendant and on high, as your Lords and Saviors?
Here we fucking go.
Oh,
Zach doesn't say that, mind you, but because Zach doesn't cuss, but
there's a pagan, a Hindu, and a fucking Zoroastrian here, and a voodoo priest. Oh, we're fucked.
I can say yes, though, and not be lying.
I would also
Go
like to say, Tim, that has to go on the quotes thread immediately. Because that was amazing. Continue.
The Azure Sailor, and the closest thing in the salute he can say is just Deus Vult, and nods his head.
I see. That is interesting coming from a clearly Buddhist monk.
You forgot how you were dressed, didn't you, Grog?
No, I like the clothes. It's airy. It gives nice breeze to my... And he stops right there.
He will turn and very calmly say in Italian, before we will roll initiative again, just light them up.
Once more into the initiative order.
I'm sorry, Kim, I just love the fact that, yes, Stega's fault. You look like a Buddhist priest. Shit.
For
I
one,
did worse this time, by the way.
Zach would like to not have to attack his fucking fellows, but whatever.
I mean, I don't think Zach has a choice now. Unfortunately.
Zach can take a speaking action, and if he rolls good enough expression, you never know what might happen.
I don't have fucking expression. I have leadership.
You're a bad priest.
You're a fucking bad priest.
I'm not playing a priest, Kim.
I don't care. My statement is still the same. I can still roll it untrained, though.
Yeah, you can.
I don't even know what the fuck Zach would say. I'm so tired right now, like I'm loopy.
Kim, you knew you had to do an important scene, and you're like, nah.
Like, bruh, I got home at work at like 5, and then I knew the scene was in an hour, and I was like, if I fall asleep now, I'm not waking up till like 9, so I had to stay up. Zach will just kind of say, please, can we not have a fight? This is something that does not need to happen, especially here in the lair of the enemy. It is best we work together, and then after this, sort out our differences. And I guess I'm gonna have to roll.
Yes. Hey, Kim, willpower is your friend.
I know willpower is my friend, that's why I'm spending it.
Is there any way we can assist
Bless
this roll?
up. 4 successes.
That's 4 successes.
Oh,
Nice.
wow, okay. He will say...
Wait. Does his spec in inspiring count?
Yes.
That's nice. That's 6.
Okay. That's 6
Okay.
successes then.
He will stop as he turns on his heel and he will say, we are here in the light of God Almighty in order to purge the Nephandic taint from this place. If you are with us, then you are with us. Even now, His Excellency the Inquisitor and another party penetrates deeper into this hellhole so that he may strike down the and he's saying this in English, so that he may strike down the heretic. If you are with us, so be it.
Zach will nod his head then and say, and it seems we are with you.
Good. My name is Captain Lucius de Nalva of the Order of the Order of Christ's Sword of the Templar Order.
And I am Father Zachariah Belmont of the Celestial Chorister.
Hey Tim, here's another instance of where a chorister apparently has Templar troops. Just that's a thing.
Oh, wait. Is he? Wait. Are you saying that to Kim or to Tim?
To Kim. My apologies.
Okay.
When the fuck can I get some Templar buddies? Like,
You want some Templar buddies?
I could fucking take some Templar buddies.
But you have Sam. Sam won't let anyone get close to Zach. Ever.
That's not... No, that's psychotic. That is
Creepy girlfriend. It's creepy.
very psychotic. I just realized I could have used my fucking status social bonus on that roll. Hate my life. It's okay. Yep. And these damn choristers fraternizing with the Templars when the Templars are stealing some of the choristers' mages. Like,
Well, look, basically, for the record, it is hinted at that some of the more extreme and powerful choristers do, in fact, control the Templars silently and behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So, do with that as you will. Anyway, so he will lead you up forward, and you'll see that there's about 15 or so men in combat armor who all look at you from behind visors, and he says, "This is my squad. It is interesting to see you. we do not think that anyone else would be able to penetrate this deeply into the fortress of the enemy. So, you're clearly worth something.
Zach will just kind of smile.
So, he will say, I have been ordered to keep my position here, but if you seek to go and reinforce the front, it is down that corridor. He will point down to another right-hand corridor that goes down deeper into the facility, down a set of stairs. Though, I will warn you, it has been some time since we received our last report. I do not know what you will face down there. However, I have no doubt that your faith will see you through, Father.
Boris is going to start heading that direction.
The rest of these heretics are not my concern.
Boris not even waiting for him to finish. He's just walking straight down that corridor.
Okay. You come into a large oval room down the bottom of the corridor where you see a table that's been etched with dozens of runes into the stone that all appear to have a skull seated just above them. If any of you have life sight up, the lingering life energies of these skulls remains on at least 2 or 3 of them, meaning they were alive up until an hour and a half ago. So, but each one of them has a rune carved into the forehead. You also see in the center of the table what looks like a perfect sphere of blue-green metal that is circling on its own axis, and another sphere of blue-green metal circling adjacent to it appear to be caught in its own orbit. However, there is a line of green energy that connects them both, and one of the spheres, with those of you who can sense the tiny kinetic movements, is being pulled in an odd direction.
So who followed Horus out, just out of curiosity?
I think everyone did.
I think everyone did, but Sam was very quick too as well, because she was like, I'm going to talk so much shit to this Templar.
Horus is just like, I need to leave before I shoot him. Let's go.
Wherever Father Belmont goes, Jewel is right there.
You know what, Zach's gonna stop, and he's just gonna look over at her, and he's just gonna very plainly ask, is there a reason for your actions towards me?
It is my duty. I told you before. You have a part to play in the outcome of this. The outcome of this encounter that has a very definite fate attached to it. My job is to see you live long enough to play your part.
I am certain that your role in all of this is much larger than just being a bodyguard. Please, I can defend myself. Thank you, though.
I understand you are able to defend yourself, but it is my job to enable you, however possible, to fulfill your task.
He'll just kind of sigh and then incline his head. Thank you, then.
She'll bow. You're welcome.
Okay. So, there's another set of doors at the other end of the room that do have scorch marks on them. But my question is, do any of you try to interact with the table at all?
Is anything interesting on the table?
Can I throw up spirit sight and look to see if there's any spirits trapped on the table?
I did describe the table. It's a large circular table that has 13 skulls set on it that each have a rune marked on their forehead. And floating above the table, there is a large greenish blue orb that is circling on its own axis with a smaller greenish blue orb above it. For those of you who have forces sight up, you can see the fact that there is kinetic movement that is dragging one of the mines. That is dragging the smaller object off its own axis.
Where's the kinetic flow leading to?
It's just altering it. It's altering how the smaller globe interacts with the larger globe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and for those of you who have spirit sight up, there's a not just a soul, a mage's soul in each trapped in each one of these skulls.
Okay, and I have
can
curiosity,
I roll?
so...
Yeah.
Hi, roll me curiosity. Roll me a curiosity flaw, difficulty 8.
Yep.
But yes.
Do we use the wits or the willpower version in this menu?
We'll use the willpower version. I like it better.
Can I make a cryptography or esoteric roll to figure out what these symbols mean?
Does your character speak? They look to actually. I'll give you this. Did somebody fail the curiosity roll?
I failed my curiosity roll. Sure did.
I'll deal with that in a moment. For those of you who actually, hang on. Does Zach speak Aramaic?
Oh, I know Michael did, and I kind of copy all the languages from Michael and all of my other... The one fucking time I don't take Aramaic. The first time I actually freaking use the language and I never take it. No, I don't have it.
Okay, does anyone here... Okay, most of the symbols then nobody can understand. However, there is one.
Could I roll linguistics?
Not really. It's a symbology you don't know. As I said, they look Eastern. They look Middle Eastern. However, there is one symbol that you do know if you speak Enochian, which is the 13th skull that has been dipped in gold and appears to have an incredibly powerful spirit bound within it, which is the symbol for endings.
Can I roll spirit speech to talk to some of these guys?
Okay, sorry. What people talking?
I can see them
one at a time. So, what did Jules say?
Can I get a cryptography roll, Evan?
I asked for one. I didn't get an answer.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you can make a cryptography roll.
Can I make a theology roll?
Yes, you can.
Awesome.
I'm going to roll spirit speech, Evan, because I can see them and now I'd like to speak to them.
Okay.
Nope, successes. I got a 1 and 8, a 6 and a 1, so fuck you guys, roll it.
For theology, because I'm gonna roll that as well. Does comparative religion count?
Not really, because there's nothing really to compare it to.
Oh, damn! If the diff was 6, I have 6.
Whale.
Nice.
Whale. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get to the curiosity thing in a moment. Okay, hi Grog, did you get your spirit sight up? Or
Yes,
spirit
and
up?
spirit speech.
Okay, I'm going to do this once because I don't have to do it again. Which is all you get. Screaming.
From each of them?
From all of them. Alright, okay.
They're all incredible pain.
Cryptography, you get something interesting that the others didn't get. All of the skulls on the circular table are arranged in a pyramid with the 13th skull at its apex, the one dipped in gold, and the one that has endings, which means that that is the focal point of whatever the fuck is happening. And who rolled religion and got... hang on, Zach, what successes did you get in your religion roll?
Zach only got 2.
Okay. Arguably, one could say that from a religious perspective, the Egyptians built the pyramids in order to line up with cosmological events and in order to predict various different solar patterns and symbols, which were quite important. With 6 successes, basically the ancient Egyptians used the pyramids in order to measure things like solar distance. They were built in exact degrees in exact places that would trigger certain events at certain points of the year and reflect certain shadows at certain points during the year. So the pyramid shape is somewhat important, and clearly this is all part of an incredibly large and elaborate ritual that clearly took an immense amount of time and preparation to prepare. Has anyone got any other roles that they need me to explain?
Just my failed
I was going to roll
Oh,
esotericus
yes,
and biology.
the failure of curiosity.
Can I stop Christina before she fucks with the table?
Hey, Christina.
Yeah.
How to phrase this? Christina, you want to touch one of the skulls?
The
The shiny gold one. The shiny gold one.
Yes, touch the shiny gold one.
And Sam's saying, fuck with it.
Sorry, one at a time.
My bad.
So seeing that all this shit's going on, and that there are mage souls trapped in these skulls, she can't withstand her mounting and overwhelming curiosity, so she's gonna reach out and be like the crocodile hunter and touch it.
Okay.
And
So to answer your question, her fingers will be able to touch the skull very lightly, but you can snap her hand away if you'd like, or attempt to.
Sure.
Okay. The moment her finger touches the skull, for those of you who have spirit sight, they start.
She has one.
Yeah, the souls start to be ripped apart for their energy, and the ritual intensifies.
Shit.
Oh, okay. She pulls her hand back and is like, "Oh, don't fucking touch those."
What the fuck?
Evan, question with
Yeah.
my spirit lore and everything.
Yes.
What would it take to sunder them?
I have 3 dots of spirit lore as well, so.
Okay. For the record, we're now going into Wraith lore territory. Does anyone have that?
Nope.
No, I didn't
No.
take that one. Damn it.
Okay. I'll let you roll Spirit Lore difficulty 8.
Oh, no, I do. I have 2 dots of it.
Haha.
Yes.
Intelligence Wraith Lore. But to answer your question, Grog, because it's actually pretty standard information, in order to destroy a spirit, you need Spirit 5.
Ooh.
Which is what Sundering it is.
Or be a starting level Twilight Exalted. Wait, what?
I mean, yeah. Stupid Twilight.
So this prime infused bullets wouldn't destroy the skull, correct?
It would destroy the physical skull, but then again, you're also not sure if it's warded. Actually, hey, Kim.
Yes.
You have correspondence side up, don't you?
Yes.
The table has incredibly complicated wards. You're not exactly sure what they do, and it would probably take you a couple of hours in order to work out the wards because they're incredibly detailed and incredibly intricate. Like, you could touch the table without suffering any ill effect. So it means that, but it means that there's clearly some weird protections on it that might only trigger under certain circumstances.
Fucking beautiful.
All right. So who is rolling what now?
We were rolling Spirit Lore difficulty 8 and Wraith Lore difficulty 6.
Okay, cool. Christina, how many successes did you get in your Wraith Lore?
None.
Okay.
I
Cool.
got 1 with Spirit Lore.
Awesome.
Unless my High Umbra helps.
Not
My
really.
High Umbra affinity.
By the way, at this point, guys, the ceiling above you will creak open on mechanical hinges, at which point you start to see overhead. The moon in this realm is a deep, deep yellow, the kind of wonderful, almost like another sun, the sun is a luminous green above you, almost, perfect circular. But then you see the moon, which is a sickly purple, as it starts to move much faster to eclipse the sun.
Evan, Spirit 3 allows me to put spirits into things, correct?
No, that's Spirit 4.
Would Spirit 3 allow me to put it into a living body?
Nope, that's Spirit 4. Creating fetishes, including living fetishes.
Okay, I was going to try to put it in myself.
So,
actually, Evan,
guys, I would like to. Okay, so think about this. Hey, Kim, this is a question for you.
Oh no.
So you know the Inquisitor, and he's apparently here, right?
Yes.
The Inquisitor is a very, very, very powerful mage. He's not as powerful as the Archbishop, but he's a very powerful mage. Why did he leave this room alone? Because he clearly did.
Because they're heretics?
Kim,
Oh,
why
no.
did he leave this room alone?
No, because anything he did to the table would have intensified the effect, not stopped it.
Oh no. Oh no.
Evan, quick question because of my background.
Yep.
Being written by a spirit would still be Spirit 4, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's basically in order to create a fetish, you need to create basically even a human being who imbibes or embodies a spirit is themselves a living fetish. So, Kim, how you doing? You doing good?
I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm pretty good. The last of those souls have been torn away for energy, and they are now utterly destroyed. However, the whirling miasma of power at the center, which is the large circle at the center, is now so bright with gleaming green or gleaming purple prime energy. It's almost hard to look at.
Is it acting like a node?
No.
Yes, go ahead, touch it. See what happens.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Curl up into a ball and fucking cry.
Yeah, because we just accidentally activated the ritual, didn't we?
No, if it helps, the ritual was active already. You intensified it.
No,
Yeah.
that doesn't help.
I helpful me.
Uros is just going to look towards the end of the hall and say, hey, look, there's a door. That's a nice-looking door. And he's going to start walking towards it.
All right. Okay, kids. You will pass the door into another larger circular room that also, this room never had a ceiling to begin with. Hey, guys, and you see this man. Yay!
Oh no!
This bitch.
In the center of the room, as he is locked in absolute... The room is strewn with corpses. Literally dozens upon dozens of these heavily armored SWAT individuals lie crumpled and broken on the floor in absolute magnitude of numbers. As you see a titanic magical battle rage between this man and this woman.
Temple.
Liliana.
Is that the bitch that's the bit off my member?
Yes, it is.
I think I broke up.
Yes, it is the bitch a bit off your member.
All right, that's a full auto shot going down range.
Okay.
And
Actually, Sam remembers what happened last time. Sam is immediately stopping that motherfucker from just shooting.
If he's going to start shooting, I'm actually going to die for cover.
In the name of the Father, he who sits most on high, I will send you screaming to hell, abomination.
Why does he sound like an elderly Japanese man?
Yeah, is that what he's saying, Evan?
It's actually because you actually see the fact that he's spitting up blood at the moment, and clearly his throat is destroyed. And she responds with, "Oh, so this is how it ends for the Inquisitor. Well," he'll look up and say, "Someone's triggered my... Someone's activated the effect. Soon my master will envelop this world in his embrace and drag it so far beyond the reach of your god that it will be far too late." You see a titanic, basically you see a titanic prime blast emerge from the Inquisitor's hand that she turns aside, though you can see it cost her effort, at which point she will run up with incredibly elongated fingernails crackling with black energy and impale him several times through the chest. He will fall back
Evan,
onto the ground.
can I not attempt to stop this?
If you wish to join the initiative, you may.
I, in fact, do, unless everyone holds me back. He is going to begin trying to kill this woman and assist the Inquisitor.
I need to know. Zach has correspondence site. The last time Sam fought Templehawk, she had an effect up that let her teleport other people's attacks. Does she have that up right now?
Very much so.
Does she have any kind of forces shield up as well?
Is Zach...
No. For those of you who have Prime Sight and can determine her effects, She has the following effects currently active. Oh, bear in mind, this is after the Prime Blast that knocked down about 6 of her effects. I choose to point that out. She has the following effects active. She may take a number of multiple actions. You're not exactly sure how many, but she is out of time slipstream. Her skin has the same consistency as her skin over her entire body has the same consistency as granite. And she more than likely has superly enhanced physical attributes. Those are the 3 you can immediately see, and that's assuming she doesn't summon more powers to her.
Okay, but
and she has and her wards are yes. She will basically teleport the attack directly behind you if it's a ranged attack.
Only if it's a ranged attack.
Only if it's a ranged attack. Important note.
So is that going to say anything about that?
Yes.
Okay.
Fix bayonets and charge into the fray.
Let's get it. Dropping her gun.
So
knife.
Is there any way, I don't want to say this, but I got to, is there any way to save this man? Like, can we act an initiative to do that?
For the record, even after he's stabbed, he doesn't die, he just falls on the ground.
Ah, and I have life sight, so I see him not die. Okay.
Templehoff looks up from the Inquisitor's broken body and smiles. And she says, "Oh, my darling sister has arrived. Did you come to be with me during my moment of victory?"
I came to give you the peace that you need.
I'm so close. In a few minutes, the eclipse will be complete and my master will swallow this world. It is inevitable. I offer you a place by my side in the new order of things. There's no need that you should come to the nothing.
I can't do that. I don't fight for nothing. I fight for everything.
Ah, such noble sentiment. Such idealism. She turns and she starts to pad back towards, there is a large, it's not quite a throne, it just looks like a rather fancy chair that she was clearly sitting in. And she says, "None of you are a match for me. You may come at me and die if you wish, or you may accept all that is. It's a simple matter."
Rose is actually going to step forward. And he's going to say, "Sing it out. Boy, you've got to be what tomorrow will bring. Sing it out. Girl, you've got to see what tomorrow will see. For every time that they want to shut you out, use your voice, raise your voice, and sing out loud and open up your mouth." Basically, he's going to start singing Sing by My Chemical Romance, and I'm going to start throwing up forces shields.
Okay.
I'm going to step next to him, touch the bead, bite my thumb, and draw a symbol in the air of protection and symbology, and I'm going to heal the Inquisitor.
That's fine.
Sing it for the boys. Sing it for the girls.
Joel is going to step forward.
All right. You may step forward.
I can see this world is dying as well as anyone else's, and I can see that it is changing. But I also know it does not have to be like this. What you have set in motion is not inevitable.
Let me show you. She opens her hand and a rent appears in what appears to be existence, but it forms almost like a window, and you see a tiny bastion of light surrounded by the darkness as the darkness scrapes and claws at this tiny bastion of light. And you see a number of the mages in the city huddled inside as the Archbishop and Siren are both praying at its center. and he will say, "Soon my master will break through. Then there will be oblivion. Even if their ritual succeeds, there is still me, as long as I draw breath. As long as his spirit is inside me, there is nothing that can be done."
I would like my monologue moment, because I did it.
There is no such thing as oblivion.
All right, Grog, if you really want your monologue moment, go.
Yep. As he finishes drawing the symbol of blood in the air, he pushes forward towards the Archbishop, and he says, "Deus Vult, stand and fight for God." And I heal him. How many ag is he down?
How many ag is he down?
Mm-hmm.
How many successes did you get to heal him?
4. And I have enough quintessence in that bead to heal a lot.
Okay. You won't take the that will be, you will heal him for 8 levels.
Boom. I heal him for 8 ag.
Okay. Oddly enough, he still stays on the ground. Though you know he can stand up if he wants to. He chooses not to.
That son of a bitch.
He's waiting for that opening. It's aight.
With life sight, do I know if he is hurt anymore or if I can heal him anymore?
Beg your pardon? I didn't hear you.
Can I see if he's hurt any longer? Like, is there anything more I can heal for him?
He's not hurt, no.
He just looks and goes, "Well, that was my load."
Alright. So, that was your great opportunity to roleplay at Templehof, or you can initiate combat, whichever you prefer.
Which one's Tafelhoff again?
She is.
Yeah.
You've got to make a choice if the music drowns you out. And raise your voice every single time they try to shut you down. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 successes to surround my people as we are right now with kinetic shielding.
Okay. That's fine.
Oh,
You know that you have to spend you also have to spend 1 per person that you choose to use the effect on.
so there's 6 of us total.
Okay. So all the 6 of you guys are getting a reduction of 5 successes from her attacks, or your own, depending on what she does.
Actually, I have a suggestion for you, Brett.
What's up?
If you do 6 and then do 4 successes and put 1 in duration, that should last the entire fight, as long as we don't move from the location.
That's true. Okay, 6 and 4 and 1.
Now, question: does that affect her too, or just us? Since he spent the successes only to include us, Evan.
It only includes those who spent the successes to include.
Okay.
So she's just sitting there, waiting, and you get the you get the distinct impression that she's just buying for time at this point.
Jewel will take another few steps forward. You were like me once. You do not need your master. You are a god. If you want to change the world, all you have to simply do is will it to change, and it will change for you.
You see her mouth split into a smile, and you notice Grog, those incredibly sharp teeth.
Yeah, I'm gonna cross myself with my own bloody hand.
She will say, "Indeed, and this is how I choose to end the world. That is my wish, not to change, but to bring about an end. To close the book on the corruption that is humanity. Think about it like this. In one movement we win the Ascension War. Won't that be lovely?"
In one moment the world will end, and the process of rebirth will begin. You have done nothing. You have accomplished nothing.
I'm amused that you think such things. I truly am. If it helps, your ignorance will not save you. Your belief that if you close your eyes tight enough, the bad things will simply evaporate away is not necessarily going to be the case, though it is adorable.
I do not believe that the bad things will simply disappear if I close my eyes. I have faith in the cycle. I have faith in the wheel. I know it is ever turning.
Oh, that's what you think. Surely by now you must sense the fact that this realm is connected not only to the temporal plane, but also the Shadowlands and the Spirit Realms. We will tear them all down. There will be nothing left to recycle. There will be a broken wheel.
Evan, I'm gonna start drawing on the ground using my symbology a Vive of Man and the vain hope that he'll show up. And I'll start rolling it if it's even possible.
To quote your avatar, Lindsay.
Yeah, okay.
She crosses her legs on the chair, and she'll close her hand around midair, but in the shadow will solidify into a long staff that she's holding in her hand. For those of you who've seen, she's basically the same staff she used during the conflict in the Shadowlands, and she'll say, "And what about you, Father? How is Alec? Poor darling boy, could have had so much. He could have been my master's host."
Alec will be okay.
Really? I want you to do something for my father. Look at this. She moves her staff down. It's basically 3 prongs of metal, in the center of which there is an orb. In the center of that orb, Kim, you see Alec smashing his tiny fists off the inside of the orb.
Boy, wait. Alec is who?
Alec is Zach's wardfall.
Oh, that's his ward? Oh, that's why he can't sleep. Okay. Well, that's why he won't wake up, rather.
Yeah.
Solve that mystery, guys. Good job.
Well, no, Zach already knew what was up. He was told. He fucking knew. He'll... There's a flash of despair for a moment upon seeing that. That is truly heartbreaking. And then he will go, Alex, like I said, will be fine. And we've done some thinking and some talking. There is if you so choose, and if you are truly willing, there is a chance that you can be saved.
Why would I want to be saved right on the cusp of my victory?
For the same reason you asked for confession.
There is an ever so slight flicker of the confident demeanor.
Oh, get it. Talk no jutsu.
Almost carried on the wind, you hear the shadow of Nightingale's voice saying, What would happen if she asked you for what she wanted all along?
I know you asked me once, and in my arrogance, I responded in spite, something that I regret to this day. But if you are willing to forgive, then there is a chance that you could be helped.
She raises an
Otherwise-
eyebrow and she says, "You know nothing about me, priest."
You're right. I don't. Actually,
I was going to
yeah,
say, actually, you
he'll,
do.
he'll stop and he'll say, I saw what happened to you, Miss Templehoff. I saw you utterly disregarded by your father during your childhood. I saw that he did not consider you a person until you had this awakening. I understand that he cared more about the other Aetheryte students rather than you, no matter how hard you tried on your own work. And how it tore you apart, not ever receiving the validation that you deserved until such time as you became to him a person once you had awakened.
You see her tongue flick across the teeth so hard that it draws blood, and she says, "You do not speak of him again. He is dead. You do not speak of him again, priest."
Ross is going to speak up. But yet he still chains you. You want to destroy this world to break free of the chains that have surrounded you your entire life. But by taking a master, you have taken more chains upon you. How? How will you be free when you are struck and bound in the shadow of a corruptor? You have listened to the deceiver's lies. You have listened to the corruptor's lies. All for the sake of getting past what your father did to you.
Sam is going to, oh damn it, sheath her knife. Sam will take a few steps forward next to Zach, and she's going to say, "Listen, I've heard your story, and in many ways, I am a part of it. Your father, he ended me to breathe life back into you. Believe me, out of character named Catherine, right?
Yes, oddly enough, both her and the director share the same first name.
Okay. She'll say, believe me, Catherine. I feel some semblance of the anger that you feel. I feel the gilded cage that you had been in. The gilded cage that you are in now.
Ross will actually step behind both Zach and Samira and will say, these two believe that you are capable of shattering your own bounds, of being truly free. If you will not believe that you can be free, then believe in these two that believe that you can be free.
Whether it is God or Shiva or Kali or Shakti, whichever God you follow, whichever principle you follow, the main draw is you get to come back, Catherine. No matter what you've done, no matter how terrible it was, everyone gets to come back.
Okay, who has spirit sight active?
I still actually have never put that up. But
Me, and I can
think
speak with
Christina
spirits
does
too,
too,
but
Christina's not there. Hi, Grog. Okay, you can see this. Nobody else can. They're not looking at her from that particular manifestation.
I'm back.
Oh, hi, Christina. So important things that you can both now see. Templehoff's spirit is literally split down the middle and appears to actively be fighting itself.
Well, I'm sure that's not a good thing.
Well, basically, light and darkness trying to overcome one another, whereas before, everything inside her was inky black. As they started to talk, there was a speck of light that started to emerge from her heart and is now actively fighting the darkness.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
I have no idea if this. I'm pretty sure I can't summon the Loa, so if you can just tell me that, I'm going to stop rolling. Because otherwise, I can do something
here.
Okay.
can I make a leadership roll to bolster what everybody's been saying?
It's an expression roll, really, as I say.
I don't have expression. I do, however, have charisma with an inspirational spec. Does that help?
What could go wrong?
I'm spending the willpower not to botch.
I have a psychotic idea.
Evan, can I feed
Yes.
the good life energy with my own life?
Can I finish?
You-
Grog.
I'm
Evan.
sorry.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, Tim, what are we going to say, dude?
But that is going to that is a good that is funny that you had that idea, Grog, because I have one of my own. Does anyone with spirit sight that see what's going on mention what is going on?
Yeah. Christina absolutely would.
If
It's
you are
actually
looking
really-
at him,
It's actually really odd, for the record. One of Catherine's eyes starts to cry pure teardrops, as in actual tears. The other starts to bleed a black ichor.
All right.
Oh my god.
Hey, Evan, I got 2 successes to bolster everything, and it's going to be bolstered with just who the hell does this outsider think you are to be weak to him?
Evan, I'm gonna do something stupid.
Do a stupid thing.
I want to do the stupid first.
No, Tim gets to do the stupid first.
Oh. I already said my stupid idea, though.
Sam is going to unzip her hoodie with her knife. She's going to cut like the shirt that she was wearing under that to expose her chest wound and her repulsive feature of scars. She's gonna walk right up to Templehoff and she's gonna say, Catherine, you can do this. You can do this.
She lets out a scream and falls to her knees, hands deeply breaking her skin. And in a voice that doesn't sound human anymore, she says, "You will not have my puppet! She is no one!"
Now can I do the? Now can I do my stupid thing?
I think that... Okay, what stupid thing did you want to do?
I'm gonna literally use my own life energy and spirit energy, like my own essence, to try to bolster the good that's inside of her.
Okay.
Do I need to... Because my plan was to do the same thing, because she does have my heart.
Mhm.
Do I need to roll an effect to do that?
Yeah, if you want to bolster the spirit, it would be a spirit 2 effect to try and bolster it, as basically her inside is being torn apart because she's actively fighting her own avatar, which is an element of the outsider.
Alright, I'm gonna spend a willpower. I'm going to spend quintessence. And I can spend my own health levels, correct?
Yes?
To do this as well?
Actually, no. Tim, inadvertently, and it does, before anyone starts killing themselves, inadvertently, Kim, the walking stick is no longer a walking stick.
Okay,
Well, what is it?
that's
It
not
now is It now is a spear, roughly about 6 feet long, with at the end a long U-shaped blade. So essentially, the blade goes into a gigantic U that comes up into that basically comes up and points and then points. So there's a circle in the center that has a breach that goes through the top, and in the center of the circle there is a light that blazes with the force of a sun.
It's the Lance of Longinus.
It's not. It's the Lance of the Lightbringer, but sadly. Hi, Zach.
Hello.
It becomes choice time. She is not able to defend herself anymore. You could drive it through her chest. Or there is the other option.
I don't trust Faust. I really don't. I don't want to break it.
It's up to you.
Is there any lore or anything I could try to...
Not really.
You're telling me my choice is either trust the demon and break my super special thing, which could potentially be hella bad and have hella repercussions, or just stab her.
Yes.
Oh my god. I'm not just gonna stab her, fuck. Actually, wait, hold up. I can't remember if it was the chick or not, but I think, didn't somebody say that it was a possibility that if she was stabbed, but she was forgiving, that it might just stab the corruption or something out of her?
No.
Yes, but I thought yes.
No. Basically, that the Aliba 10 thought that might be a thing, but then she said she honestly didn't know.
Evan, I'm doing the dumb thing.
Okay.
I'm spending 6 of my own health levels, essence, and a willpower. Give me 10 to give her 10 successes over there to bolster that little zone of light.
All right. You will notice the zone of light expands, so it now encompasses her whole heart, rather than just being a pinprick of light. And tears are now freely running both black and white as she starts screaming in 2 voices, which is really odd.
Russ is going to look over at Zach and say, if she is to do this with a clean slate, you must forgive her and allow her last rites if she is to die.
Zach is...
Maximilian looks over to anyone and, like, in a ragged, gasping breath, he says, "Heal me so that I may continue bolstering this light inside of her."
Can you use me?
You can't. In the event you use Hurt's blood, you cannot be healed from it.
Wait, what?
In the event you actively use your health levels like that to fuel an effect, it's actual pattern damage and you cannot be healed from it.
No, I'm asking if Grog can use Samira and Samira's stuff.
If she's willing, I do have Prime too, but she has to be willing.
She's absolutely willing.
All right, fuck it, let's do this. How many health levels you want to give freely?
All right, does it have to be health levels or can it be like willpower points? Because I saw you do willpower too.
I spent a willpower to get an extra success, so
yep.
On my Arete roll.
It's spending health levels at this point.
Because she has my heart, can I spend willpower?
Yes.
Fuck it. I'll do all my willpower. 5 points.
Are you doing any of your health levels as well?
For right now, we'll do 1 health level.
All right, so here we go. Read. To bring this down to difficulty 3. And she gave 5. I will spend a willpower so that this cannot botch. That's 3 successes to do it. 5 more health, 5 willpower points spent.
Okay. At this point, the light equals the darkness. However, at this point, the darkness is starting to push back the light. Kim, do you do the thing?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
He's gonna mutter a prayer pretty much. Or it's not even really a prayer, it's more like a please, Lord, forgive me for what I do, for I do not know if this is the right choice. I only hope that what I do will save this young woman from herself. And then
important note, as you raise the staff to break it, you almost feel like there's another pair of hands holding yours.
as in like the kind of stopping, or the kind of yes, continue, I got you with help.
Kind of the I got you hands.
Okay.
Can we see the hands helping her?
Nope.
And Zach will just take the spear between his hands and snap it.
Okay. Everything will stop.
Ooh.
Your heartbeats will stop. Your breath will stop. And from behind Kim will step this figure.
Is that the Lord of Light, Lucifer himself?
No. She will smile. She will smile, and she will walk towards to face Zach, and she'll say, "My name is Gabrielle. I know you. You are able to move. You guys are able to move and talk. Templehoff apparently can't."
Jewel will drop on one knee and bow her head.
For the record, interestingly, this is how Zach perceives her. You will perceive her in a way that your faith would allow you to. She will look different to each one of you, but her words will be the same.
Question then. What are Gabriel's dominions?
What are their dominions?
What is she an angel of?
Yeah, what do you say?
If it's Gabriel, she is the herald.
Her main domain is light and the cosmos, and she also has the domain of the messenger and the herald.
Okay. I'm just trying to find a Hindu god that you would see.
But she's smiling, and you all get a very, very benevolent feeling from her. And she says, "The thing about faith, Father Belmont, is the thing about faith, Zachariah Belmont, is that it's never easy." He will point upwards, at which point you see how to describe the sun, the Earth's sun, blazes above you, away from the green sun, the green sickly sun that you see in this realm. And he says, "His eyes are upon you."
Like, we can move and talk, right?
Yes. And you feel as if the very eyes of God, Gaia, Vishnu, Azura Mazda, stare down on you.
The Azure Sailor is going to stumble over to the frozen, weeping woman and lay a hand on her and begin praying for her healing and for the good God Almighty, Lord of Lords, Lord of Hosts, to heal this child.
She will hold Zach's hand and she will say, I am his voice. Speak and he will hear. On a side note, you're slightly bemused that this is Gabrielle, who is clearly a woman, whereas the Bible calls him Gabriel and is clearly a man.
Look, I'm fine with titties.
Same.
Um, so, he will say, she has done quite a few horrible deeds, yes. But I ask that she be forgiven. She is young and clearly, he'll take a glance over to her where she's kind of fighting herself and her own avatar, because it must really fucking suck to have an avatar that's, demented. I'm pretty sure that's a hella bad flaw.
It's awful.
Yeah. He'll go on to say, from the start, the odds were stacked against her. But I beg that she be forgiven and that she be given a fighting's chance, so that she may become better.
She will look at you and she will say, indeed. And for this, you sacrificed something that was forged when the world was not yet a world, so that he may grant one person mercy. Why do you think that that was your right? Kim, do you want to make an intelligence theology roll to answer that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna spend no willpower because my theology rolls have been sucking lately. But that's comparative religion probably does not count.
Actually, it does.
Bless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Is that 7 with the willpower?
No, it's 6. I got 2 1s.
Kim, there is a simple answer to that. There is a simple 3-word answer to that. God is love. It doesn't matter what had to be sacrificed. He loves everyone more than the world. He loves everyone like they are his own children, and he calls them his own children several times.
And God so loved the world that he sent his only begotten Son, so that none may perish, and that all may have eternal life. That would be a good quote for you.
Yes, thank you. I went to Sunday school like a lot of other people. Zach will... He'll pretty much say that, I did it because he loves us all.
She will look up and she will say, he does. Even those who have stepped from our light. What is one wonder? The stars hang in the sky now. Yes. she will walk towards Templehof. And she will, at which point you will see the darkness inside her well up until it takes a physical form, and it looks like a mirror of the angel, but it is made entirely of black ichor. And she will say, I smite you in his honor. At which point the nothingness says, you take one puppet and more rise. You think that you've won. You have no continence. You do not understand forever. Another will fall. We will have another victory. Another day. Perhaps. Santre nonste. Kense norma. She will lay her hand on Catherine Templehof's head, and you will see the darkness torn apart in a blinding flash of light. Before she will turn back to the others and walk down once again. Before she will take the broken spear in both hands and hold it to her heart. And you'll hear her whisper in Enochian, and Kim will be able to hear this, and she'll say, regardless if you have fallen, I still love you, brother. Before she will look up.
I'm sorry, I thought my mic was muted. My bad. I was just muttering to myself. I said it's okay, I love him too.
You love Lucifer, that's nice.
Have you fucking he's okay. His White Wolf
in World of Darkness, they kind of made him a badass.
He's a fucking bro.
He kind of is.
Anyway.
But she will look down at you again and she will say, his will be done.
Will be done.
She will kiss you on the forehead. And she will say, oh, and tell my son that I love him.
I am afraid I do not know who he is.
He brought you here.
Is that Enochian, or does she say that in something else?
She said that in English.
I believe you mean
Technically speaking, she's speaking Enochian all the time, but some bits you can understand and some bits you can't. It's basically she's speaking the first language, so she's choosing if you can understand her or not.
I believe she's referring to the young gentleman that fist bumped me earlier.
Oh.
When he said the prayer, I heard him say "Mother," so.
The librarian?
Ah, yes. You are quite the beautiful light.
Oh, sorry, continue, Brett.
I say because Zoroastrians, they're the servants of Ahura Mazda are just pure light energy.
Mm-hmm. She will look at you and she will say, and the Father of all the world loves you very much.
He will hold a hand over his heart and bow.
She will say, I do not know the road. Oh, sorry, she will look at Catherine Templehof and she will say, when she awakens, she will be the girl that she was. I have purged her spark, so it now exists as all of yours do. Because that is his will.
Thank you.
She will say, because there is hope that there will be another dawn, there will be another dawn.
What of the Inquisitor Saint Augustine, I believe is the correct one for my religion?
She will say, he will live. He will know nothing of this conversation, but he will live. Now, I must away. I will return all of you from whence you came before this realm collapses upon itself.
Russell bow his head and thanks.
I shall only hope that the Archbishop de Calvonet and my son are able to purge those items so that the world may yet see the dawn that it hopes for.
Evan, as she's finishing speaking, he writes in his own blood a giant Vive around him, and it ends up being several different languages of just thank you. Like, because God is looking directly at us.
Alright, guys. With that, everything will turn to dust and mist around you before you find yourself seated in a beautiful park, probably in Dublin city centre, surrounded by flowers. Above you, you see the eclipse has almost reached its zenith. However, you note the fact that it doesn't. It stops. And the light of the sun pierces through again as the moon starts to retract, as the ritual is completed and the light may dawn and shine once again. And with that, we will end our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin. I will hand out rewards at the end of the scene.